Alright guys, here's the 11th session working towards the planche. My warm-up was not filmed. I was following along to this 8-point plank Tabata video from foundation training. I felt weird climbing earlier in the week and I had kind of like back pain from that. I don't know if I just like knocked some out of place. So in the past I'd use this to alleviate back problems. I had chronic back pain for like 4 years and really started hammering these foundation training exercises. I'll have to link that channel in the description. I followed along with the 8-point plank Tabata video, the supine decompression video, and the 12-minute foundation training video. And worked up from doing those maybe 3 times a week to like every day pretty much. Sometimes even twice a day. And one day I literally felt my spinal column like shift and like click into place like a freaking Lego. I stood up from that and I was like, whoa, got a huge head rush. Felt like I was finally straight up and down. And ever since that day, had no chronic back pain again. Now, of course, every now and then I'll, do something weird and kind of like acutely hurt my back, but I've had nothing chronic ever since then. So, highly recommend foundation training to anybody who has back issues, especially 8-point planks. I feel like that might be the best one. Now, I went through a little circuit for like a specific warm-up, and that was the plank lane on the floor, the plank lane on the rings, and then a brief bent arm frog plank. Did that twice through. And on the second set, I decided to go on my insteps instead of my toes here. Try to get a little more pressure into my hands. And even though I'm not lifting my legs, I am really trying to use my low back, my glutes, my hamstrings, my calves, my core in general, I guess, to lift a portion of my body weight off the ground, May not be visible, but I am actively trying to lift my legs, even though they're not really coming off the ground there. And I do this on the rings version here too, you'll see, on my insteps. And the front of my toes here, doing the same thing. I'll go ahead and rotate my arms forward, really try to open up those biceps. They didn't really open up that well today. I don't know. I climbed a lot yesterday, so it kind of makes sense that my biceps were tired. I didn't feel sore though, which was weird, but they just wouldn't lock into place. Might need more stretching or something to do that, but whatever. Moved on to the meat of the workout, which was, frog planks. Frog planks, and more mother frickin' frog planks. Didn't hold for any particular amount of time, just trying to get a high quality set in, to really try to get everything in line, back straight, all muscles contracting into my center line, get a nice full body contraction here, just try to turn myself into a freaking statue, basically, of muscle. My rest between these sets was somewhere around a minute. Didn't really count, but I just kind of just stood up, shook it off for a bit, went right back down. For this particular set, I went for a pelican plank, where my knees are kind of around my armpits. And this just puts a little more of my weight directly into my hands. And also kind of shifts a little more the pressure into my shoulders rather than my triceps. Did pretty good on this, held for about 35 seconds before my form started to kind of degrade. I decided to quit while I was ahead. After this, I did one more frog plank, and then I followed the supine decompression video from foundation training to cool down. I'll put the link to the 8-point plank Tabata and the supine decompression in the description for anyone who's interested. These videos in particular really helped me back in the day when I had chronic back issues. It really got me out of it and really strengthened my core and elongated my freaking spine and just decompressed the shit out of it because I was very compressed, had all kinds of bulging discs and shit. And that helped me out a lot.